High Commissioner, in parliamentary democracy, anyone can express their opinion here in this House. The last two speeches that you've just heard are in no way representative of what this House feels.
Dankeschön, mein President. I'd just like to ask you, I thought as the President of this august body, aren't you meant to be neutral? Should you be siding in a partisan way with the people on this side of the House, sir?
On behalf of the ENF group, it will be Mr. Salvini.
Grazie, Presidente.
Thank you very much, President. Well, how much hypocrisy have we heard at the expense of women today? We're talking about inviting Turkey to Europe. The Prime Minister said putting men and women on the same level is counter to nature. The Vice Prime Minister said women should not laugh or provoke people in public. So, do you think that Europe should be bringing in people like that? I'm afraid that's just shameful. People who think that women should not be provocative or laugh in public? What kind of a country are we talking about? Turkey doesn't respect civil rights. It should never be a member of Europe, from my point of view. Well, 3 billion, why don't you give them to the unemployed in Europe? Not to the Turkish government to close newspapers and reopen them as they see fit. Give them to the women refugees, give them to Italy. The numbers say, High Commissioner, that 80,000 requests for asylum were entered in Italy. Only 5% were actually accepted as political refugees. 5%. Two-thirds of the requests were rejected. You're talking about women, but in Italy, in January 2016, 7,000 requests for political asylum. Women are less than 10%. They're all strong adult males. Syrians under 30. You don't see any Syrian women. It seems that we're financing an uncontrolled Islamic invasion of our country and our continent. So then my question is this. How much does it cost? How much does the UNHCR cost? How much do you cost? How much do the staff cost? How much of the 7 billion in your budget actually gets to the refugees? And how much ends up maintaining your hotel and office expenditure? We are paying people to stay in five-star hotels. Well, Italian women are having trouble. They're unemployed.
Das Wort hat jetzt der Fraktionslos.
On the behalf of the non-attached members, Mr. Fontoulis.
Kyrie Grandi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grandi. You're the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. But as reality would suggest, you're not doing your job very well. It's not your fault, perhaps, entirely. But it's a responsibility which is shared by others in the United Nations. Those who did not respond to the colonial aspirations of the Western forces, who have been bombing countries in Syria, Iraq, Libya, half of Africa. Ukraine has also been affected. And the big multinationals have been exploiting the cheap labour of millions from underdeveloped countries in order to put gain before anything else. And we think of privileged partners. And we've just seen a summit in Brussels. Turkey is protecting the smugglers, the terrorists, and others besides. You should be taking immediate action in order to put out douse the flames in the Middle East, so that refugees can go home and get growth and development in their home countries. I think that we need to talk to those in the countries of origin, transit and destination, but what we don't want to get is a kind of multi-culti soup which is going to be lapped up by the multinationals who are simply looking for their own benefit from cheap labour. We are confusing humanity and humanitarianism with impunity. And sadly, Greece, for example, has been hard hit by crisis already and is being turned into an open-air detention camp. We need solutions, and we need them now. And it does seem that you're not able or not willing to provide them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. High Commissioner, in parliamentary democracy, anyone can express their opinion here in this House. The last two speeches that you've just heard are in no way representative of what this House feels.
Und füge hinzu,
And I could add, I'd like to add, High Commissioner, High Commissioner, the European Parliament would like to warmly thank you
ich füge hinzu, Herr Hoher Kommissar,
High Commissioner, I'd like to add, just wait a minute. High Commissioner, I'd just like to say that we would like to warmly thank you for your presence and for the excellent speech that you held.
bitte Herr Coburn, Sie, Herr Coburn, bitte Herr Coburn, Sie haben sich zu Wort gemeldet.
Mr. Coburn, you're asking for the floor.
Bitte Herr Coburn, Sie haben sich zu Wort gemeldet.
Dankeschön, mein President. I'd just like to ask you, I thought as the president of this august body, aren't you meant to be neutral? Should you be siding in a partisan way with the people on this side of the House, sir? Are you not?
Bitte. Sind Sie fertig? Sind Sie fertig?
Have you quite finished?
President, I think you should remain neutral in these regards. In the House of Commons, your behaviour would be unconscionable. The Speaker of the House of Commons cannot take sides.
Vielen Dank. Herr Coburn, der
Now, Mr. Coburn, you've got the High Commissioner from the United Nations. He's the honoured guest, a guest of honour in our plenary session. And I'm hearing racism and unacceptable remarks. I just can't stand that myself. So I just can't leave it there, I'm afraid.
Good afternoon, colleagues.